Hey
Hey
guys, welcome back to another Power Trip Retrospective.
Yes!
So today, what are we covering?
We are covering NARC!
NARC.
Drugs!
The war on drugs.
And terrorists.
You know what? Mr. Big is spreading his drugs and his violence, and it is up to us to just eliminate his filth.
Max Force and Hitman.
I can't believe those were awesome names, actually.
God, that
Max
game.
Force and Hitman.
It was a very interesting game, I have to say.
Interesting is a fun word to describe it. I would not describe it as interesting.
The game, I mean, the controls were kind of clunky.
It's interesting because Nintendo had this, I guess, this squeaky clean persona when it came to like releasing games and what they would allow on the system. And
they're still kind of like that today.
Yeah, they're still kind of like that today. And this game was touted, I think actually Acclaim and Midway, like whoever originally developed it for arcades, they claim that this was the first game that was, like the first video game that had a very strong anti-drug sentiment. And so it was kind of high on the heels of the war on drugs during the Reagan administration. That was actually pretty much Nancy Reagan's swan song.
Oh, yeah.
But this game, like the things that are in here were just so... It was questionable why they were in there. Like some of the level names.
I feel like the drug message was overshadowed by blowing people up.
Yeah, it was over the top. Like you could blow people up and see their parts, like their body parts flying.
Yeah, like the game just didn't. Yeah, I don't think anybody just heard that. If anything, it made you want to do drugs.
It maybe, yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. It was such an odd game.
It really was.
It really was. We'll get into that. But what would you give NARC for difficulty?
So for the difficulty, I would have given it a 4.
Yeah,
just because
that's what I thought.
It was a tough game per se, but as we were playing it, we kept progressing farther and farther. And once you realize like how to, I guess, it wasn't really farming for points, but once you would start busting people and getting points and then getting the 1-ups for getting the points, it got a lot more doable. Even though there's no continues in the game, you literally just have the lives that you start with, and that's it. And you have to make it through 9 levels to.
Was it 9?
No, it wasn't. It was like 6, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't that. It wasn't. I mean, the game wasn't terribly difficult. Some of the enemies felt cheap, and like you take hits from stuff that you shouldn't. But
the paths were real cryptic.
Yeah, just figuring out what to do was kind of a pain in the ass. Like I remember we kind of struggled trying to figure out. Oh, you have to. We had the key the whole time, and it's like half the time we didn't even know we had keys or what we needed. Like a little icon that told you had it would have been fine.
Yeah, that would have been great.
But otherwise, 4 feels fair because it wasn't impossible, but it wasn't that difficult to be honest. So I would go for a 4. That sounds right.
Okay,
feels steady.
So next question is, what do you give it for fun?
I was gonna the same, a 4. I mean, it really wasn't that great. I wasn't impressed by it. The graphics were ugly.
You know,
I feel like the arcade version would be more fun.
I was in the same boat, but thinking about it, I would give it a 3.
Ooh, stepping down.
I would give it a 3, actually, because my original thought was a 4, but then I kind of added up everything. It's like, it's a unique concept because it's something that was never ever done before and never really tried again on the Nintendo. I like the aspect that you can bust people and like kind of like you feel like a cop in that sense. I think it's interesting. The level of violence that you see in the game was something that you really didn't see in other games. So that's true. That's an interesting aspect of the game. But the graphics are so dull.
Oh, they're
for
bad.
Something that was made by Nintendo in the 1990s, like 1990, I think it was, or 91. You really you expected a lot more than what the game gave you. The music was really dull and forgettable, and I think the biggest tragedy of that is that, and granted maybe he had to find a way to start, but because this game was actually developed by Rare, they used their in-house composer, who at the time was David Wise, who is fantastic composer, fantastic musician. He missed every single cue that you possibly could have for the music on this game. So I think it's more of a tragedy.
It was a rough one to get through.
And so, and some of the things that you encounter in this game are just so, like...
The pot plants. The exploding pot plants.
The exploding pot plants. And there was nothing to delineate what was a pot plant that gave you points and a bonus versus one that was, like, exploding.
Yeah.
And it's
that
just...
sticks out in my mind more than anything.
Yeah. And so it's just, like... Well, there's, like, what was it? There was signs for, like, adult books.
Yeah.
And it's like...
I remember the porn stores.
Or Kinky's Top or something like that, or Kinky's Pinky or something like that. It's like, is this for real? Like...
If you watch porn, you're an evil person.
I was gonna say, this is crazy that they're adding stuff in like this. So
yeah, it was a little strange.
But like with the music, the levels, they got so repetitive so quickly. Even the paths that you had to take. So that's why I think overall... I gotta go down lower than what I originally thought, and I'm gonna give it a 3.
Yeah, that sounds.
It's fun to blast around with like a second player, but you really have, once you play it and you beat it, you really have no reason to go back to it ever again.
I couldn't see picking it up, and
it's not really replayable.
No. So we'll jump into the. Is it worth it?
Is it worth it?
So what did you spend on it?
This game I spent. I want to say I think either $1.99 or $2.99 for it. I got it pretty cheap.
You know, we never did. I don't think we ever talked about what you spent on Little Samson.
No, we didn't.
We forgot.
Actually.
Well, what did you spend on Little Samson?
$500.
Hey, $500's better than the $1,100 it's worth.
Yeah, that's true.
There's an investment.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So, but NARC, so currently right now, according to price charting, it's about $5.50 for the cart, for the loose cart. So, is it worth it? Honestly, I would say it is. I mean, it's cheap.
Guess so.
I personally have an affinity for the side-scrolling action beat-em-up type games, and this is kind of like a side-scrolling beat-em-up game. So even though you're really not getting a whole lot out of the game, you'll really get, I think, $5 worth of enjoyment out of it. Even if you never play it again.
That seems fair. $5.50. I would say so. It is a decent length, like you said, and it's a fair challenge. I mean, it's not impossible, but it's not cakewalk, I would say.
No,
I mean, if you're just running and gunning, you lose. You won't make it.
You have to bust people in order to get your score up so that you can get the extra lives along the way.
Yeah, so I'll definitely agree with you. And $5.50 is right.
And you get to play as Max Force. And Hitman.
Though it was very, very satisfying destroying Mr. Big and then raiding his treasure room.
Yeah,
that was pretty fun.
That was awesome. Because
that was fun.
And we thought that there was like a whole nother level past that. And then we're like, okay, we have to get all this gold and then see what comes next. And it was like the end.
Yeah.
So it was great.
That was, that's got to be one of my favorite feelings is when you and I are expecting more levels in games, like Smash TV.
Yeah.
We were expecting more, and then we found out it was the end of the game, and that was it. And it's like that overwhelming feeling of we just beat this and didn't even see it coming.
Yeah.
Like, that's my favorite. So NARC had the same kind of feelings.
Yeah, but unfortunately it didn't have enough else going for it to really be, like, fun.
It just got so weird at the end. Where he turned into a robot and he was spitting tongues at you or whatever.
With, like, a snake.
Yeah, it was...
like, neck/head,
a very odd title.
Yeah, it really was. So.
Something with drugs, man.
It was trippy. And then the game at the end of it, too, it's like, go to your local drug enforcement agency.
You just passed training. Now go to your DEA.
Yeah, go to your local DEA to get training. It's like, okay, yeah, sure, they're trying to recruit people, so...
Go fight drugs.
Go fight drugs. Join your local drug enforcement agency today.
Be a narc.
That's right. Be a narc. There's nothing wrong with being a rat, as long as you're taking coke and marijuana off the streets.
And turning it in for Mad Moolah.
Get these sex-crazed hooligans and with their big puffy coats and their crack bags and their hypodermic needles. Get them off the streets.
They were syringes. Yeah, it was funny.
I ain't kidding. I didn't make up that thing of that. That's all in the game.
I know.
That's all in NARC.
Watch NARC, man.
Watch NARC.
Our sound quality sucked, but hey, it was still a pretty good video.
It was good. It was good.
It's one of my favorites. Mm-hmm. So
no, good for you.
Yeah.
No.
I mean not.
Oh, one of your favorite playthroughs.
Yeah. Not playthroughs.
Well,
it's fun to watch.
Experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
Experience.
Yeah, definitely. So,
all right.
hopefully you guys watched or will watch that game.
Hopefully.
But there you go.
So,
that'll wrap up this Power Trip Retrospective.
So I hope you enjoyed our take on NARC. Let us know in the comments if you agree, if you have some pleasant experiences of this game, or if you had a different experience from what we did. Tell us about Dare. Tell us about your experience in trying to get drugs off the streets.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So go hit us up on Facebook. Hit us up on Twitter.
Check out
Twitter.
Yep. Check out all of our other videos on YouTube right now on our channel. Subscribe to our channel, Power Trip Gaming.
Yeah.
And next time on Power Trip Gaming Retrospective,
we'll do another one. I mean, I don't know.
Way to be prepared.
I wasn't. It's not like we can play something better.
No,
we're not
we can't.
playing anything.
We can't. We'll review something better.
We'll review something. Oh, come on now. That's cheesy. I can't think of a thing for this.
We'll review something better.
There you go. I guess that'll work for now.
Yeah.
All right.
Bookadoo, bookadoo. Bookadoo, bookadoo. Bookadoo, bookadoo. Bookadoo, bookadoo.